Surviving 200 days in Minecraft Hardcore, a feat that in and of itself is quite impressive. I have already survived 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore, taking down both the Wither and the Ender Dragon. But I am back for more in this 200 days. I plan to build my base to a respectable size and take down even more Withers and maybe another Ender Dragon or two. Will I make it to the end, or will I fall short, never to see the dawn of day 200? As always, like and subscribe to support me, and this is how I survived 200 days in Minecraft Hardcore. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The sun is rising for day 101. Everything is going splendidly. Our farms are working overtime. We're gonna go down real fast. And in theory, yes. Okay, so good. The buckets do transfer out. This is actually perfect. This is what I was hoping for. Also, for dripstone, I think we messed it up slightly. I want to say it needs to be on dripstone, and that should allow the dripstone to grow. But another thing that we need to work on is the house. The house is slightly dismal, so we are going to be working on that, and we are also going to be building a gigantic wall around this entire place, with this beacon acting as the center. I then started building the pillars of the wall 100 blocks out, and I originally started with dark oak logs, but then I decided to switch it over to stone bricks, as those would be easier to build the wall out of. I topped it off at Y level 80 just to give us a uniform height for the entire thing, and pillared up 100 blocks away from the center in all 4 cardinal directions. And then I went into a creative world, made a giant ring, and used Lightmatica to paste it into my hardcore world. I then turned on easy place, and well, the rest was quite literally easy. I was able to just walk forward and place down the blocks, no guessing where they were supposed to be. And our house. I think we need to finish our house first. Before we finish the wall, we need a place to live. Crimson needs his nest. I started off by crafting up some ladders so that way I could get to the second part of my 3rd floor, which was all going to be storage. I then placed dark oak logs around the top just to add on a frame. I will add more to that later. And then I expanded the balcony to 2 blocks wide just so that way I would have more room to walk. I then chopped down a bunch of dark oak trees so that way I could craft a load of chests, and then placed item frames on most of those chests, and then organized all of the chests. I'm not going to show much of that. And then I went back to chopping down trees to actually start work on the roof. And with that, our house is complete. Now we're gonna work on a comically large lava farm that'll fuel our furnaces. We do need a way up, and I think that's gonna come from scaffolding. And yoink. Hey, there we go. This is going to be a glass bubble column. And just like that, multiple days have passed, but we finally have the lava farm almost done. Alright, let's go locate that mansion that we saw earlier. There she is. I hear an evoker. Alright, it appears we have found the first evoker. We're gonna take him out with a couple bow shots. That was easy enough. Yoink the totem. And now let's track down the second one. Take him out as well. And that's 2 totems acquired. Chicken jockey room. No Vex armor trims, but that's okay. We'll keep looking. Vex armor trim, let's go. And a gapple. Now that we were done with the mansion, I took back to the skies to fly home and grab some ice along the way. Look at that. There's our house. Going for a nice gentle landing. We can now focus on getting rid of this village and terraforming. Dude! Okay, so for context, the power just went out, and I was about to talk and be like, oh, okay, so we... Huh? Wait, what? Dude, like half the stuff got deleted. We were about to have a full stack of logs. Shoot, bro, so that just like corrupted part of my stuff. This is the before the terraforming took place, and this is after the terraforming took place, and this is what we have so far. That's right, nice and flat. I started working on the wall now that I had roughly everything flattened out to the level that I wanted it. And I will say, this did take quite a while for the first section, but it's going to go much quicker for the next 3 sections that I have of the wall. I then decided that I wanted to defeat the Ender Dragon again, so I got the needed gas tiers and went to the end. And I actually live streamed this part on Twitch, so make sure to go check out my Twitch, which is linked in my YouTube bio. Here it goes. Actually, we'll take to the skies immediately. The Ender Dragon is back. Well, that was not how I was planning to get post-mortal. Come on, there we go. Now we just have the caged ones. You're not getting away that easily. Oh, thank you for the boost. Hello, dragon. Okay! That is 2 totems popped. I am definitely not playing this safe. Finish her off. Get sniped. You know what, I'll finish her off with a sword this time. Chat, Crimson Falcon never dies. And that is the end defeated again. My next project after that slightly hair-raising Ender Dragon fight was to actually finally finish the roof on the villager trading hall, so that way it wasn't raining inside. How many villagers do we have in the breeder? Way too many. I should do something about that. The roof is finally done. That took way longer than it should have, and my goodness, it is so much different in here now. I then attempted to solve some of the villager problem by transferring some of the villagers into the trading hall, now that it actually has a full roof. No. This is Leth. And he's going to become increasingly more important as time goes on. You'll see what happens. Whether or not he's actually accountable for all this, we don't know. But Leth is out there. We have a rogue villager. Sir, I don't even know where you think you're going. What am I joking with? Hello, sir. You kind of become a part of my house. Chat, what happened to my door? Chat, have you seen my door? Alright then. Wow, okay. So we just lost a door. Somewhere. Come on out, sir. First time you've been outside, I know. You're missing your house and your job block. I'll bring your beloved job block. Don't worry. Ah, there's that troublesome leather worker. How in the world did the door end up all the way over here? Chat, something fishy's going on. Come on. Nope, not that way. That way. Hopefully you're happy. Yoink back our minecart. Well, chat, that was an interesting side quest, and we somehow lost our door? Sir, come here. Your days of taking my doors are over. I don't know what to do with you, but you have committed a crime, sir. Hello, horse. Horse, are you conspiring with this villager? Or do you want to be his attorney? Loki, that'd be kind of funny if I, like, held a whole trial for this man for stealing my door. Chat, their hitboxes are literally, like, the difference is minuscule. There we go. But oh my goodness, their hitbox is less than a pixel apart. We're gonna drink the first one. Gave us some effect. I want to say that was negative. Poison? Chat, this guy's trying to kill me. Sir. Golden carrot trade. We have literally the best farmer villager of all time. Minus the fact that he tried to kill us. You know, so, I mean, we can overlook that assassination attempt. I then popped into the Nether to kill some wither skeletons for skulls, but had no luck, and then decided that I needed to flatten out this terrain because I did not want as much of a hill here for the wall. I also filled in some of the lower parts, not all of them, because I am thinking of potentially adding a lake back here, but just enough to where it wasn't too hilly. I then completed the next two sections of the wall, which was half the wall, which made the wall complete. Now we're going to have a lot of work to do on the inside of said wall, as well as adding all of the gates and exterior decoration. It's gonna be a massive undertaking and project. This is the entire wall complete. We have the full circle, and now it's time to start work on the paths inside of the wall. Okay, so newsflash. I found out why we're missing villagers. They can just despawn. So, you know, we're missing one Fletcher. Okay, sure. I then zombify these two clerics, and they just vanish. I'm wondering if maybe you have to trade with them first. I may have forgotten to trade with them. I'm not 100% positive of that fact, though. So, we may have just run through, like, 3 villagers, but it's fine. Nobody needs to know if anyone asks. They're enjoying a vacation in a better place. In light of future builds, I actually decided to fly out and collect all the different wood types. Now. Out of context, that sounds weird. I also wanted to grab saplings in addition to the wood so I wouldn't have to ever go back out, so I yoinked a bunch of jungle and then flew on to my next target, pale oak. Along the way, I also grabbed some melons and killed more cows for more food. Nice, that should be plenty. After a nice peaceful flight, I finally located a couple pale oaks. Oh my word, who spawned in the Armada? Built with way too many phantoms scare me? Not a chance. Is there a wooden man floating around here? And then flew over after chopping down that tree to the other pale oak where I was able to locate multiple creakings and crit them out for all the resin they are worth. I then also took the hearts, that way I could set up a farm later, as well as some eye blossom flowers, just in case I wanted to use them to decorate. Instant resin. And yes, I did manage getting 3 creaking hearts and over a stack of resin before finally leaving and embarking on finding spruce. Alright, I need like 1 spruce tree, and then we are set for life on spruce because I can just make a giant tree. This is the first time I've mined spruce. Like, I've known where a spruce biome is, I just have never needed to go mine it. Okay, Loki, I'm actually gonna relog because I do want my actual skin instead of this hot garbage. We'll be right back. Alright, chat, we're back with our actual skin finally. My goodness, I hate Minecraft offline mode. Why do they just default to the one skin? After fixing my skin, I decided to go visit an ancient city that I knew would be somewhere underneath the mountain. Don't set up a shrieker. I mined in, fortunately not alerting anyone that I was there, and proceeded to start looting the place. And all was going well, right up until the very end. Okay, we're going. I know that this area is safe. And I left with 4 notches, so I would say that that was a very successful trip, but I had to get out of there, and so I went back through the way I came in and flew out of the cave. Arguably flying out of there was like the most risky play I could make, but we're out, we're safe. Is that a beehive? I really hope you have bees, because you're mine now. Total bee location. After a nice peaceful flight home, it was finally time to start working on the roads for my base. So I switched up my inventory and started mining up all the pathways that I would need in order to turn this giant circle into a thriving base. Alright, this is now a square. We have like a nice waterfront run, crossroads. Now enjoy some nice aerial footage of me making all the paths for this side of the river. Perfect. It's even the correct length away, which just ties it in even better. And then we can like technically just decimate this front little area because we don't need it. Alright. Okay, so I'm thinking potentially barn here. Like really large barn. Yeah, okay, so the midpoint is like right here. Barn. We can have this be red. The barn's not actually gonna be red, but you know, that can be the color of the waypoint. I already have an idea for what I want to do. Now before I like completely full send, I think, so we're gonna do a section of this. Yeah, like there's no doubt about it. Like this is the way I want the road to look. And then I guess we do this. I think we're gonna do this. So I'm going to have ideally main roads leading in from most of the sides. The reason I say most, let's get out the fireworks and well, actually, I mean, I can show you on the map, but this way is better. It's really just gonna be main roads from the north and the south. Because if you look at it, that beacon beam is in direct line with the front of this. So I'd have to move this back. And I don't know about you. Let's move. I don't know about you, but I really don't want to have to deal with that. So it's just going to be north-south as main roads. And then east-west is going to have like roads passing in front of the beacon. But I think we do go with polished. Here's what I'm going to do. So the main roads are going to have this polished stuff, and so like honestly the east-west roads are still gonna have this polished deep slate, but then all these side roads, it's gonna be like a very noticeable, hey, you are on a side road. And this is me filling in the paths with all the needed deep slate. I also filled in the 16 by 16 square with a massive cobblestone area. That's going to be kind of the town square. And then it was just a little bit more path work. I also made a dock. This one is going to be just for the regular boats. I'll build more docks in the future. And then this is kind of what we have so far. That large square right in front of us is going to be a barn, and then those three outlines are going to be what I am calling the brewery, the manual lava farm, and potentially a punny farm. After that, it was time to remove the old lava farm because, well, the road was going to have to run right through it. And with this final wall being torn down, pretty much all that I need of the lava farm gone is now gone, so we can actually construct the road and the bridge that will be going over the river. Let's get this bridge going. 16, 17, so this is the midway point, right here. Okay, so it was the correct pattern and everything. Needs to literally be a block higher. Slabs there. And like the visual effect is on the bottom. And I still need to add in the glowstone and like potentially a lantern. I don't know if I like those. I think we're gonna go for wood. I feel like the stone may be like too cold and hard. We may have to do fences, and it will not be open. Lanterns on top of here, just to like prevent the continuity. Yeah, okay, that's the design I was going for. Alright, let's see how it looks from the water. Yo, that actually looks decent. I then went and made a gateway on both sides of the bridge. This is the initial gateway, and then this is me upgrading it because quite honestly, that first gateway wasn't quite enough. And then we move on to the barn. Now, this barn build was actually very simple, and it can hold a lot of animals, which was very nice. So enjoy some nice replay shots of me building the barn. I then moved the cows into the barn because quite honestly that tiny little area was not enough. I then bred them up and took care of the extras. Y'all should have come. I then moved the chickens over, took care of the stragglers again, and then the barn was complete with all the animals inside. Next was the brewery, aka the potion area. This building is going to remain unfinished for a while, but I made the floor out of cobblestone and mossy cobblestone and the walls out of stone bricks, with cherry wood as the accent to give a nice purple. I also added in some windows into it just to give it a more open feel. And this is what we have so far. It is far from done, but this will definitely be getting more of a rework soon. And one of the next things that I worked on was this beekeeper house and honey farm. I was going for more of an industrial feel almost, while still trying to keep the country vibe intact. So I went with pale oak because it had a nice gray exterior, which could be interpreted as industrial, but also made out of wood, so it still kept that same effect that I was hoping for. I made the roof with a pale oak outline and then filled it in with tuff and polished tuff, later adding in resin bricks and a honeycomb block just to give it more of a honey hut vibe. I also reworked the stairs to make it more friendly with the sloped roof, and then I worked on the bee area of this whole farm. I've made it to where there were 2 natural hives, and I enclosed them in a glass box, and then I later added in 2 of the man-made beehives, and this is the final product, where you can see the resin on the roof giving a nice orange accent and a pop of color, and then the bee area that has a quartz outline and is enclosed in glass so you can see them. After the bee farm was finished, I popped into the Nether because I wanted 2 more beacons. That required 6 more wither skeleton skulls. If I didn't have it before, I'd definitely have it now. That's 3. Oh, you did not drop your head. Yeah, I was very disappointed that this guy didn't drop one, but then this happened. You can't make that up, that just dropped the 6th wither skeleton skull. And after that, I left the Nether and went back through to go fight both withers. Once I got back to the overworld, I dug out a tunnel, placed down the first wither, killed the first wither, and then placed down the second wither immediately thereafter, and killed the second wither, and then proceeded to make 2 beacons from the wither stars. This is accomplishment. I then placed down the 2 beacons to see how I liked where they were, and then I mined down to the deep slate level because I needed to mine a lot of deep slate, and I also took one of the beacons with me. After running into the lava, I dug into the cave where the lava originated from, and I realized, yeah, I'm going to need to take care of this, so I grabbed some fire res and then jumped right back down the hole and proceeded to block it off with a wall. And then it was time to place down the beacon so that way I could start mining all the deep slate I needed. This is all the ores that we got. We got 44 diamonds, which I'm low-key impressed with. And then we maxed out a shulker box and got over a third of another. Which I would say this is a fantastic haul for the trip, as well as getting another stack in one obby. I then flew out of the mines with a minor headache and proceeded to work on the rest of the main path and then chop down a bunch of cherry trees. And then I decided to make a secret area inside of my base in this corner. So I dug down by quite a lot and started building the interior of said secret base. I'm not 100% sure what's going to go here, but that will be determined in future 100 days. Alright, so we have finally completed the room. I need to get a light up in the top as kind of like the centerpiece. I don't have anything. We can have 2 dragon heads there for now. That's kind of like the start of everything. After the secret area, I decided to build a gate in the south side of the wall, which is the only road that I technically have operational. And this is kind of a rough idea. It'll grow to be more. There'll be a portcullis eventually, and the pillars are how far out it's going to be. I then also colored the beacons and flew out to see how it looked, and it looked nice. After that, I didn't want the center square to go completely untouched, so I built a small little fountain in the center to kind of act as a centerpiece, and we will be adding more to this in the future. And this is the final fountain, nice and small, very square, but still looks nice. Wait, hold up. No. Yo. I present to you the place to relax. Just kind of chill. Unfortunately, I don't know how much time we're going to be spending chilling because 100 days is never a lot of time. And we are always running around like our head has been cut off. And low-key, let's just throw that in there as like a fun little detail. And we jump straight back into Nether to prove my point with working on the Nether hub because I did want some kind of Nether hub before the 100 days was over. So this is kind of what we're working with. I'm going to show you what we actually finished with for the 100 days here in a second. But this is kind of the concept, and I think it turned out great. And here is what we are currently working with. Going into it, the reason that that one section is bottom half slabs is because I'm actually experimenting to see whether or not I like it on the bottom or the top. I'll make a final decision once we actually build the rest of this Nether hub. And as you can tell, it's gonna be big. I had one final thing on my to-do list. I wanted to find a mesa and a desert. The mesa for terracotta and the desert for cactus. And let me tell you, this took way too long. And to make it even more hilarious, I was mining this red terracotta at this acacia house. And you can see in the distance, there is the mesa. And I don't even realize it until I finish mining up the house. Oh my goodness, finally. Finally. Bro, this took forever. So I mined up a load of terracotta because quite honestly, I didn't know exactly which ones I will be needing in the future, but the more I have, the better. I then built a nether portal so that way I could get back easy through the nether, also mining up some cactus and acquiring dune armor trims in a nearby desert temple. And the last project of this 100 days, I'm just going to show you the completed version of it, is this iron golem at the entrance of our iron farm. This is one of the main reasons why I needed the terracotta. It just makes it look better. I'm not positive that I got the scaling right, but overall, I'd say it's a nice addition to the base. And that's pretty much it. Okay, night of day 199 is almost over. I'd say we improved. Arguably, the brewery is still lacking, but I'd say as the morning of day 200 comes, we've done pretty well for ourselves. This is impressive. We are definitely still lacking in a lot of things. I definitely thought we would get a lot more done. But to have this massive wall is already impressive. I technically want this to become even larger. And then on top of that, also fill in more of this. So arguably, We could have done more. Did I set my sights too high? Or is it just going to take some more time and we just have to trust the process? I don't know. You tell me. But anyways, as the sun rises on day 200, it's me, Crimson Falcon, signing off. See ya in the next 100 days. On the screen are some videos you may also want to watch.